All right. Great mornings, business owners and managers, and welcome to another awesome episode of CX in the Morning, Customer Experience in the Morning. I am your host, Wes Walters, and on every single CX in the Morning, I bless you with customer service tips, customer experience tricks, and I leave you with gems. And by gems, I mean actionable takeaways that you can implement at the speed of now. Immediately after this broadcast, you will be able to implement what you've learned with your team and your business, making your team and your business better. And that by itself is pretty awesome. You will learn the importance of implementing an awesome customer experience and how that affects the bottom line. And that by itself is pretty awesome. It is Hump Day Wednesday. How are you guys doing today? Wednesdays are always good for me because Wednesdays, I fast on Wednesdays. So Wednesdays are always doozies for me, right? Always a doozy on a Wednesday. Like nothing goes wrong on a Wednesday. If I fast, it's a doozy, right? So how you guys doing? How has the week been? It is halfway during the week, so you should have completed half of your goals. This is correct. Well, listen, so far the week has been amazing. Monday, I came out the gate swinging based on the metrics. This is not, if you're just tuning in when we say, how has the week been? It's all based on metrics. What do the numbers say? Forget about how you feel. What do the numbers say? So the numbers say, I came out the gate swinging on Monday, and Tuesday was even better. All right, how you, Tanisha? How are you? Make it, yay! Awesome, Tanisha. What type of business owner are you? A business owner or a manager? How are you? Let me know. You're new. I've never seen you before, so let me know. Are you a business owner or a manager? And how has your week been? Let me know if you are a business owner or a manager. All right, I know, of course, there's a delay, so we're going to keep it moving. So first of all, thank you for being here. As you reply, we're going to get right into it. So today's history class. We have an amazing show lined up for you. And the title of this show, I'm not sure if you can see it, it says, How Customer Experience Turned This Once Economy Brand, Mental Health Provider, Private Practice. Oh, so your customer experience is vital because you're dealing with what I call pillar 2 of my book, pillar 2. In pillar 2, it talks about the human connection, having the makeup from last week with the weather. Oh, so you must be one of the, I think are you in Texas? Are you in Texas? Well, yeah, if you're a mental health provider, then you are definitely go to Amazon or go to Wes Walter CX and get the book Customer Experience, 3 Simple Tools to Transform One-Time Consumers into Loyal Customers. And yeah, of course, Texas. She said she's in Texas. Yeah, as a mental health provider, you're concentrated mostly on pillar 2, which is the connection, the human connection. All right, so thanks for being here. And on Friday, I want to see you as a repeat offender. I want to see you back on Friday. All right. So let's get into the juggling. We have a lot to cover. So the name entitled this presentation or this show is entitled How This Once Economy Brand Utilized Customer Experience to Become and to Have Global Domination. Not county, not state, global domination. So let the juggling begin. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. All right, here we go. All right, so early 90s. We're going down nostalgia lane, right? This is early 90s. In the early 90s, the king of luxury in the automotive industry was Mercedes-Benz. In the early 80s, the king, the big boy, the grand supreme, the King Kong, the Michael Jordan was Mercedes-Benz as it comes in regards to luxury in the automotive industry. All right, in the early 80s. These were some of the early 80s Benzes. Now, I know these cars now, they look funny, but these were the big boys. If you had a convertible like this in 1981, you were really doing it, So definitely these were the big boys. All right, let's keep it moving. Second on the list was BMW. BMW came in second when it comes to luxury. I'm sure you know the slogan, the ultimate driving machine. Anyone who's older than 35 knows the slogan, the ultimate driving machine. So Mercedes-Benz and then BMW as it pertains to luxury automotives when it comes to luxury and fine automobiles in the early 80s, to a point where Mercedes-Benz had crossover appeal. Literally, lots of young kids who could not afford Mercedes-Benzes were saying it in their raps. So Mercedes-Benz was topped the most mentioned cars in all rap songs and all rap lyrics. Mercedes-Benz was that. All the rappers will talk about having a Benzo. Benz, again, this is what you call crossover appeal. When you get to the point where the rappers or individuals who cannot afford your product start talking about your product and idolizing your product, then you know you have gained crossover appeal. So I want to let you know how big and massive this is for a company to achieve. It got so big that in the early 80s, individuals in New York and other states would literally steal the medallion of the Mercedes-Benzes across. So they would go good morning, Miss Bernadette. They would literally go into the Mercedes-Benz dealerships and break the medallions off of the Mercedes-Benzes. Now, of course, by doing this lowers the value of the Mercedes-Benz, but this was such a status symbol. And Miss Bernadette used to live in New York, so you understand that this was such a status symbol that having a Mercedes-Benz medallion, that they would literally go to the car dealerships and not steal the cars, but break the medallions off. That's where this came from. This is the greatest rapper of all time, Mr. Rakim, rocking the gold Mercedes-Benz Pendant. This is where they came from. Before the gold medallion pendants, they would break the medallions off of the cars and put it on their chains. And they're like, you know what? Maybe we could start rocking gold. So this is Rakim. All of these came from the originator, were the ones who would steal the medallions off of the actual Mercedes-Benzes. All right. So yeah, it's history class today, right? And if you stick to the end, I'm going to show you how all of this ties in to your business and creating an awesome customer experience, and how and why it's important to wow your customers at every given opportunity. All right. So stick to the end. There's a treat at the end. You're like, what? Why do I want to know about Mercedes-Benzes? Trust me, slow down, just stick to the end, and I will not disappoint you. All right, let's keep it moving. So again, Mercedes-Benz had amazing crossover appeal, because here it is, individuals who cannot afford a Mercedes-Benz, they're fine. Like, I cannot afford a Mercedes-Benz, but it would be okay. I will call it fair, square, if I'm able to steal a medallion off of Mercedes-Benz and put it on my chain, and I can feel like I'm part of the brand. This is how much crossover appeal Mercedes-Benz had. Eventually, they started making Mercedes-Benz gold pendant. This is Rakim the God MC himself, Rakim, right? And of course, this is where all that came from. Now, here's a little company by the name of Toyota. Toyota, in no way, shape, or form, was a luxury brand. Nothing about Toyota said luxury. Nothing about Toyota said prestige. Nothing about Toyota said, a status symbol. It was simply just a Toyota. Toyotas were known for being great on gas. They were economy cars, and that's where they sat, in the economy section. Matter of fact, in America, Toyotas were mostly known for trucks. Toyotas were known for trucks. All right, so stick with me. Again, there's a surprise at the end. So now in August 1983, the execs at Toyota says, we're bottled because all of our friends who are execs and all of our colleagues who are at the top of the food chain, they all want to drive Mercedes-Benzes. Nobody wants to drive a Toyota because, hey, look at a Toyota. Nobody wants to drive this. They all want to drive this. So Toyota was bothered by this. And they're like, what would it take for us to create a luxury line like a Benz? What would it take for that? So after that meeting in 1983, of course, there was a lot of pushback. They were like, look, let's just stay in the economy section and dominate. What's wrong with being in the economy section and dominating, right? So after that meeting with lots of reluctancy and lots of pushback, they finally said, okay, you know what? In 1984, they began this new brand of Toyota in order to push Toyota not so much from being an economy brand, but being in the luxury line as well. So they wanted to launch a luxury component of Toyota. So in 1984, they began. 1985, 1 year later, just 1 year, not 5 years, not 10 years, shows you about, how the Japanese, when they focus on something and they tap into Kaizen, how in 1 year they were able to have a prototype. 1 year. 1985 now. So we're halfway. So all of the 80s, Mercedes-Benz is killing it. Mercedes-Benz is the go-to brand for luxury automobiles. Everybody's still with me, right? If you're with me, still type 1. Mercedes-Benz is still the top of the line when it comes to luxury automobiles, when it comes to prestige, when it comes to status symbols. Everybody wants a Benz. All right. So in 1985, Toyota produces its first prototype, exceeding 1 billion with a B. Now, $1 billion right now in 2021 is a big deal, but they exceeded $1 billion in 1980. In the 1980s, they spent over $1 billion, not $1 million. This is a B, $1 billion in research and development. That's how committed they were. $1 billion. Now, in January 1989, just 5 years later, I want you to, I know friends who are still writing their first book, and it's 5 years later. 5 years later, I have friends that are still, I'm working on my book. Or I know some individuals that sometimes they run out of money and they're building a house and it takes time. And here it is. They were able to go from a prototype to an actual car in 5 years. In actually 4 years, from 1985 to 1989, they had the first Lexus was revealed at the Detroit Auto Show, and the world saw the first Lexus in 1989. 1993 conversation, 1983 a conversation, 84 started the prototype, 85 to 89. 4 years, boom, the world sees the first Lexus. Talk about the intense concentration and focus and the amount of man hours and time to go in. Not just to go in and create a car, not just a regular car, because we were already creating Toyotas. No, to create an elite Toyota that's going to champion Toyota to the next level and compete with the big boy. Because remember, up to this point, Mercedes-Benz was the big boy. All right, let's keep it moving. This was the first Lexus that was revealed at the Detroit Auto Show in 1989. LS400, all right? Now, 2 years later, 3 years later, 3 years later, 3 years later, just 3 years. Again, focus and dedication. 3 years later, in 1992, Lexus outsold not only Mercedes-Benz, also BMW, and also Jaguar. Now, there's a gem here. And I have gems at the end. I told you if you wait till the end, you're going to get the gems. But here it is, the underdog coming in with focus and dedication, tunnel vision, saying, this is what we're going to do. I could imagine in the warehouse or in the factories at Lexus, they probably had pictures of Mercedes-Benz, and they were like throwing darts at Mercedes-Benz because like, we're coming for you. 3 years later, after releasing the LS400, Lexus outsold not just the number one contender, but also the number two and the number three. Focus and dedication. All right, let's keep it moving. Now, here it is. And fast forward 2020, last year, Lexus sold 275,041 cars in the United States. Mercedes-Benz, on the other hand, finished second to Lexus with 274,000. So again, even 30 years later, still dominating Mercedes-Benz. Still dominating Mercedes-Benz. Now, Lexus had one goal. Lexus had one goal. And that goal was to make the life of its customers more luxurious. That was their goal. I want you to take for a second and see that Lexus's goal wasn't to get the biggest V8 engine. Lexus's goal was not to have the best sunroof or moonroof. Lexus's goal was not to go 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. Lexus's goal was to make the life of its customers more luxurious. Now, of course, under that, there are a lot of subcategories, but the main thesis statement was operating from a customer-centric point of view. The thesis statement was the customer is the center, the customer first. What does that look like? The thesis statement is, how can we make our customers' life more luxurious? The customers that are loyal, who are used to using the economy Toyota, how can we say thank you to these customers and put them in a luxurious Toyota? That was their chief. This was their vision statement. This was their customer vision statement. Now, here is where it really took off for Lexus. They turned a service failure into an opportunity to wow their customers. So here it is in 1989. Complaint from 2 customers about faulty wiring. So the wiring in the cars were not working. And what did Lexus do? Now, this was, the media couldn't wait for this, because the media was looking for every opportunity to see, look at what we had told you. Those Japanese, they don't know what they're doing. They need to stay in the economy section. They cannot make luxurious cars. So the media was waiting for the opportunity to say, see, I told you. But what did Lexus do? Like any king would do, they turned their pain into power. Turn their pain, use the service failure to turn it into something better. So there were only 2 customers. Now remember, Lexus was outselling Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and Jaguar. So there were only 2 in all the cars that they were selling. Only 2 said, hey, I got faulty wiring. What did Lexus do? Lexus recalled all of their Lexuses, every single one. Took 20 days. So here what would have normally been a, oh my God, here would have been in a situation where, man, this is going to be a disaster. This is going to be a nightmare. This is going to be a public nightmare. Lexus said, no. We were praying for an opportunity to show you what the culture is like here at Lexus. So Lexus took that opportunity and said, we're not going to recall those 2 cars. We're going to recall all the cars, and we're going to fix it free of charge. This was in 1989. Now it seems like the standard practice. No, not in 1989. Turning a service failure into something good. Now, what happens when they did that? Of course, the media, the same media who was about to say, I told you so, the media took note. The media was like, whoa, American companies don't do that. This immediately started the conversation, people started using the word Lexus when it comes to customer service. This was new. This was groundbreaking in 1989. Let's keep it moving. There's more. There's more. I want you to guess what hotel lobby, you got one try, what hotel lobby this is a picture of. Miss Tanisha, what hotel lobby? What is this? The Ritz? What is this? The Marriott Marquis? What is this? The Four Seasons? If you're watching, tell me what hotel lobby this is. What hotel lobby this is? You got one try, one guess. What hotel lobby this picture is? This is a picture of what hotel lobby? Don't be shy now. Don't be scared now. I know you're typing, but don't be scared. Just take a try. What hotel lobby is this? The Marriott. All right. Miss Tanisha said the Marriott. What if I was to tell you that this was actually a Lexus dealership? Yes, Lexus went above and beyond. They started studying the hospitality industry. They started studying the hospitality industry. Remember what the customer vision statement was? To make the life of its customers more luxurious. So where would you go to study luxurious and how to make the customers' lives more luxurious? You go to a luxurious hotel. So the people at Lexus started studying the hospitality industry because their goal wasn't to make the fastest V8. Their goal was not to make the biggest engine. Their goal was not to make the baddest and biggest sunroof. Their goal was to make the life of their customers more luxurious. So when every time I hear individuals saying, hey, I am into hair, I'm in the beauty industry, all I do is read and study about beauty, you are missing out. When I hear people say that, hey, I'm into cars, or I'm an interior designer, all I do is I read about interior design, you are cheating yourself. You have to read about other industries because they're all tied together. They're all tied together. All tied together. Lexus, this is the lobby of a Lexus dealership. This is the lobby of the Ritz in Seattle. This is the lobby, the waiting area of a Lexus dealership in Orlando, not in Orlando, in New York. What do you see? Marble floors. Marble. What do you see? Fireplace. Fireplace. What do you see? Leather. What do you see? Leather. So as you can see, Lexus not only studied but implemented luxurious hotels, and they turned their service station, their service dealerships into luxurious hotels, or they mimicked luxurious hotels because, again, their thesis statement was to make the life of its customers more luxurious. Talking about customer experience. When the customer walks in and they see this, it's justified paying what they pay for a Lexus because this is what they're getting. This guy literally has his feet up, is reading probably a high-end magazine at the fireplace, crackling in the background, probably sipping on some a fine wine. Has nothing to do with cars. This is mimicked after a luxurious hotel. Let's keep it moving. What did Lexus do again to go above and beyond? To go above and beyond. They implemented a servicing program. Again, this seems like the norm now. In 1989, it was not the norm. They implemented a service program, meaning you drop off your Lexus to be fixed, and you were given a car of the equal or greater value than the car that you owned. This seems like the norm now. It was not the norm in 1989. Let's keep it moving. What did Lexus do to even go further? 24-hour roadside assistant in 1989. This was unheard of. But again, none of this has to do with the car. None of this is this has nothing to do with a V8 engine. This has nothing to do with having the biggest moonroof. This is all about the customer experience. It all comes back. Listen, it all comes back to service. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what business you're in. It comes back to service. If you're a plumber, no, you're in customer service. You just happen to do plumbing. If you own a restaurant, you are in customer service. You just happen to cook. If you're a beautician, you are in customer service. You just happen to do hair. It all comes back to customer service. All comes back to customer service. Now, here are some of the gems from this whole story. The gems are, you can come from behind. If you own a beauty supply store and you're thinking, man, Sally's is just the big boy. We can never beat Sally's. Yes, you can. You can come from behind, and not only come from behind, but come from behind and dominate. Another gem. Again, this was the king. Mercedes-Benz was the king. This was the big boy. And here's a little fact. In 1885, Carl Benz and Gottlieb Daimler, they in 1885 have the pattern for the first practical car. So literally you could say Benz invented the car. Benz invented the car. And someone came after and did it better. Now, of course, that's subjective. Some would say the Benz is the better, some would say the Lexus is the better. We're not here for that. That's not the point. But Mercedes-Benz invented the car. Now, until I started doing the research, as an American, I thought Henry Ford invented the car. So much of the American ignorance, right? I mean, if you ask most kids, if you ask who invented the car, they would probably say Henry Ford. But Henry Ford didn't invent the car. What Henry Ford did was invented the assembly line. Henry Ford is known for creating the assembly line and putting cars out more expeditiously, but he did not invent the car. Henry Ford's first car was not made until 1896. This is 11 years after Carl Benz's. 11, a decade after Carl, Henry Ford makes his first car in 1896. And of course, we all know the Model T, Henry Ford's most famous car, came in 1908, years later. Years later. Now, and here's a little thing. Again, you can start from the back. Now, in 1986, Acura, the luxury line for Honda, released its first luxury car. So if you Google it, technically, Acura is Japanese first luxury automobile, not Lexus. It's Acura. Now, if you're from the East Coast, if you're from New York, if you're from Jersey, if you're from Philly, anywhere up and down the Eastern Seaboard in the 80s, if you had a Acura Legend, you were doing it really big. My brother had a Legend. Listen, this was the car. It didn't get any better than the Acura Legend. The Acura Legend, this was the car you wanted. And if you had the two-door, the coupe, you were really doing it. So again, more reason you can start from the back, because here it is, another automobile industry, another automotive company, Honda, created their luxury line, Acura, before Lexus. So Acura has the title as Japanese's first luxury automobile. So you can come from behind, and if you do it right, leapfrog over the competition with your customer service and your customer experience. Second gem, and again, we're going to talk more about this. You can come from behind on Friday, so you definitely want to tune in on Friday. There is a huge cost for being first. Again, they spent $1 billion with the B in research and development, and we're going to touch on that on Friday as well. Another gem, when coming from the back, you have to do more. When you're in the red, you have to do more. What did they do more? Implemented a service program. Say, hey, if you drop your car off, you don't have to wait. Again, this was in the early 91, 92. Nobody was doing this. You drop your car off, you don't have to wait. We'll give you a car just like yours or better, and we'll let you know when the car is finished. So go about your day. Just drop the car off, leave it with us. What did it do that nobody else was doing? 24-hour roadside assistance in 1991. Are you kidding me? Nobody was doing that. Telling the customer, hey, look, if you break down driving our stuff, we got you. We got you. Another gem, perfecting the basics with Toyota. This is paramount. I'm actually going to put the perfecting the basics with Toyota, because you want to go back and watch the episode on the SWOT analysis on YouTube, where Toyota being a strength and Lexus being new to the market could potentially be a weakness. But, I'm going to put that in the chat, because I think everyone should go back and watch that episode, because I talk deeply about, doing a SWOT analysis and how important it is, and how you should do these every quarter. Where is that episode on the SWOT analysis? Yeah, everyone, if you haven't seen that one, you definitely want to go back and watch the episode on the SWOT analysis. Where is it? Give me 1 second. There it is. There it is. So I'm going to share that with the tribe. I'm going to put that into the comments. All right. You definitely want to go and check that out. That's definitely worth it. All right. So let's keep it moving. They study the hospitality industry. Another gem. Again, gone are the times where you feel because you're in industry X, you should only be reading and learning about industry X. You should definitely be reading and learning about other industries, about the aviation industry. If you're into computers, you should be reading about the carpet industry, because there are going to be things that you can cross-pollinate from one industry over to yours, making yours better, and you're going to be it's going to be a game changer for your industry, because nobody else in your industry is doing it. This is what lobbies in dealerships, car dealerships, used to look like before Lexuses came in. Doesn't scream customer service. Doesn't scream, we're happy that you're here. Doesn't scream that you should be paying big money for a luxury automobile. Look at the difference. You thought this was a lobby for a hotel. And I think one of the biggest gems, the biggest and most important, is that they use the service failure as an opportunity to really show that Lexus had a culture and was operating from a customer-centric point of view, that we were going to make decisions based from the customer's point of view. I think that service failure, experts say that service failure with the faulty wiring was what took Lexus to the next level in regards to customer experience and customer service. That one service failure. So if that service failure did not happen, they would have probably been just putting along slowly. Because that service failure, it got their name in the press, and they said, we're going to turn this into a great opportunity for us. Another gem, they go above and beyond. When coming from behind, they went above and beyond. Employees have to pass through an air shower to remove dust each time they enter the engine plant. They have to pass through an air shower. This is the air shower. So employees, before entering in this door into the engine plant, They got to pass through an air shower to just remove any particles that could potentially damage the engine. Here it is at one of the Lexus plants. 200 Lexus experts are responsible for checking over 44,000 quality items. That's twice as many workers and 150% more checks than a regular Toyota plant. So they went above and beyond. They went above and beyond. This is 150% more checks than the typical Toyota checks. Since 1991, Lexus has topped customer satisfaction ratings for 5 years in a row and still holds that record today in 2021, 30 years later. So again, the gems, big takeaways is, yes, you can come from the back. There's a huge cost for being first. We're going to talk about this on Friday. And perfecting the basics. I put the link for the SWOT analysis video. You should definitely check that out. And I think one of the biggest things that catapulted Lexus into what is known today is that service failure that they took an advantage of to turn in from what was seemed to be a disaster into a power move. Not just a move, but a power move for Lexus. All right. So that's it. That is it. And I wanted you to see that, yes, it's okay to come from behind. And yes, you can have the best product because, yes, Toyota was known for dependable cars, but they knew just being dependable was not going to cut it. They needed something more. They needed to go above and beyond. They needed to go outside of the boundaries of what typical customer service was for the automotive industry. They studied the hospitality industry and gave you the hotel Ritz-Carlton Marriott Marquis feeling while you're buying a car. That's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, you can come from the back. And yes, you can beat what's considered the dominant, the big boy in your industry. You can come from the back and beat them because your competitive advantage is customer service and creating an awesome customer experience. Now, if you need help creating an awesome customer experience, all you got to do is go to workwithwes.com and someone from my team will reach out to you. You will share with us what your goals are. We will share with you what we do, how we do it, and how we can help you achieve those goals in the quickest time possible. So simply go to workwithwes.com and someone will reach out to you, or definitely shoot me a DM. But it was a pleasure conversing with you guys this morning. And if you thought this was great, wait till you see on Friday what we have in store for you. Tune in on Friday. Again, we're going to touch on the some of the huge costs of being first, as also of what you need to do again when David is trying to take over Goliath. All right. See you guys on Friday. Peace.